Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming to the weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull MM in the Damier Ben. Alright, so grab a coffee, grab a tea, let's start work, let's go to work, let's do laundry, whatever it is that you do, come join me. We have some awesome topics to cover today. Starting with the first question from Van Dons, hopefully I said that correctly. Congratulations, you've just won the luxury lottery. You get to choose 3 items at each of your top 3 luxury stores, for yourself or someone else. No price limit. Everything is in stock. Nothing is off limits. What do you choose and why? I love this question. All right, so I might end up surprising you guys. And I thought about this for a little bit. Because there's actually one store that I would want to get 2 things from and one that I would only want to get 1 thing from. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. I feel like I always cheat on these questions, don't I? Okay, so anyways, I might end up surprising you guys. But first stop would be Cartier. And at Cartier, I would end up getting a brooch for my mom. I believe it's called a high jewelry brooch. It's a beautiful, beautiful brooch. It's platinum, diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds, and it's in the shape of a bouquet. It's beautiful. So I'd get that for my mom. I'd get a Santos de Cartier watch for my brother, and I'd get a Cartier love bracelet for myself. So that's one. The next stop would be Rolex. It would be Rolex. I would end up getting a Submariner for the hubby, a Date 40 millimeter for my dad, and a Date Just 36 millimeter for myself. My family is definitely a huge fan of watches, so I feel that ends up working out perfectly. And my last stop, and this is where I was kind of cheating, my last stop would be I would get 1 item from Chanel, and that 1 item would be a classic flap filled with Swarovski crystals. You guys know that is like my ultimate holy grail bag. I would definitely go for a bag with that, and it would have to be like the Aurora Borealis, kind of like 2-toned iridescent type of Swarovski stones. I think that would look insanely beautiful. So I'd get that 1 thing from Chanel. And the other 2 things that I would get would be from Louis Vuitton. Now I found this to be incredibly easy because it's almost like a no-brainer for me. The first thing I would get, definitely hands down, a trunk. A Louis Vuitton trunk. I feel like that is the ultimate piece when it comes to a Louis Vuitton lover. Am I right? I love those trunks. I think that they're beautiful. So a trunk. And the other thing would be a train case. It would be a train case because I really want one, and I think that they're adorable, but I don't think I'd ever use it really, but it would end up being a train case. And I thought there'd be too many pictures to incorporate eye candy, so I will try my hardest to put some links on the description box below if you guys wanna see what it is that I'm talking about. But I really didn't see anything else that I would want to get from Chanel, and I didn't see anything else that I would want to get from Louis Vuitton. Again, if I won the luxury lottery. If I won the luxury lottery, I'm gonna go for something that's going to be obscene, because I have the possibility to do it. Like I said, I might have surprised you guys because I really ended up going for 1 handbag. The majority of the items that I would go for would be either fine jewelry or, precious stones and things like that. And of course, I would always end up getting something for my family. So that's what I would end up going for. I know that I cheated, and my apologies for cheating, but like I said, I only wanted 1 thing from Chanel and 2 things from Louis Vuitton. But I would love to know what items you guys would end up getting. And you are more than welcome to cheat like I did. But if you want to, let us know in the comment section down below. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from my daily suite. What are your thoughts on sustainability and luxury fashion? Do you think that they're taking real steps forward, or is it just greenwashing? This is an awesome question, and I truly think that a lot of these fashion houses are taking a step in the right direction when it comes to trying to reduce their carbon footprint. Stella McCartney started it years ago, and is it too little too late? Definitely not. Can they end up doing more? Absolutely they can. And it might be a little bit more expensive for some of these companies to go green, but I feel that especially when it comes to luxury brands, I think that they have a little bit more wiggle room when it comes to their profits, you know what I mean? But I actually ended up finding a website. I believe it's called rateabrand.com if I'm not mistaken. I will put a link to it on the description box below if you guys want to check it out. But it goes through all the different fashion houses and a few other brands, and it lets you know how they're trying to reduce. And I found it really interesting. And like I said before, I think that a lot of these brands, or just companies in general, can end up implementing a lot more into how they end up running their business, or how they end up producing their pieces or their items, so that they're a little bit more conscientious when it comes to our environment. And I think that the more and more that companies companies do it, it might end up causing a trickle effect where in 5 years' time, every single company is doing it that way, you know? So it would be really interesting to see where we are in a year's time or in 10 years. But I definitely feel that they are kind of moving in the right direction. And it's never too late to do anything, you know, great for our planet. But I would love to know what you guys think about this question. Do you feel that a lot of these companies are just saying it just to make themselves look good within the media, or do you truly feel that they are taking the steps necessary to try to reduce their carbon footprint? I would love to hear what you guys think about this. But fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Danielle Dunaway. I just bought my first designer piece yesterday, a Louis Vuitton Neverfull MM in monogram. It took a while for this military mom to get there, but I'm so proud of myself for coming this far. My question is, do you think it's possible to buy luxury but not to collect it? It's so easy to just want to keep going once you've gotten started. Well, first and foremost, major congratulations on your Neverfull MM in the monogram canvas. Fabulous choice. And, you know, I've said it before, I have a collection, but I also don't consider myself a collector. I know that it might sound like I'm contradicting myself, but just hear me out. The reason why I don't consider myself a collector is because I do end up using everything, whether it's my small leather goods or my handbags. And sometimes when I think of a collector, I feel that it's just someone that maybe has something on display. Am I wrong? I don't know. I don't think I'm contradicting myself. I might be wrong on that one, but I definitely don't consider myself a collector. But I think what you're referring to, if I'm not mistaken, is if it's possible to like buy one and then stop. If that is the case, I definitely feel that that it's possible to do that. If you end up finding a piece or a handbag that ends up checking off all of the marks, and you don't see yourself switching out of it for years on end, I absolutely think that it's possible. Some of us have a little bit more difficulty in this department than others, you know, especially because I'll speak for myself. I am a handbag addict. I'm a little bit obsessed when it comes to handbags, and I haven't found purse piece. We've also discussed this before, you know, so it's a little bit more difficult for me to stop, I guess, because it is a slippery slope. You know, you kind of end up getting the gimmies. We've also talked about this before. It's kind of like, I don't know, sometimes you get a rush, or like not necessarily consumes you, but kind of, I don't know, but there's just something about it. Something about getting a brand new bag or getting a brand new wallet and you're so crazy excited. I don't know, but but like I said, it's a little bit more difficult for some of us to stop. I think that if you do find that bag, or if you do find that item that just ends up speaking to you and you don't want to switch out of it because you like it so much, then absolutely it's possible to just stop after that one. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this question, but once again, major congratulations on your Neverfull, and I hope that you enjoy it. Fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to help. Next question from Bella V. Amy. Can you let me know your opinion on the mini Lady Dior? I am eyeing the black lambskin one with the silver hardware. All right, so before we get any further, let me insert a picture of the mini Lady Dior right now. I think this bag is so incredibly cute. I love the fact that it comes with a removable strap, so that way you have a little bit more versatility. And I also appreciate that the strap isn't too thick, because I feel that the chain, because it's a little bit thinner, it really ends up complementing the size of the mini, so it's not too overwhelming. And I'm a huge fan of the black lambskin with the silver hardware. I think that that combination is beautiful, and I especially like it in the silver hardware. If you guys ended up watching my handbag wishlist video this past weekend, this is also a combo that I have my eye on, and I feel that the silver hardware ends up kind of making the bag just a tad more casual for the details that it has, and I feel that it really ends up enhancing it, but not to the point where you couldn't use it in a formal setting. I think that this bag, you can get away with it in a casual environment, you know, with t-shirt and jeans, and you can also transition very nicely into an evening setting with a little black dress. So I am a huge fan. I know a lot of people aren't too fond of the Lady Dior, but I definitely am. Personally, I want something a little bit bigger, so I myself am looking at the medium, but I think that the mini is so cute. So if the mini speaks to you, by all means, absolutely go for it. So fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Purple Monkey Hippo 32. I feel like I can't stop buying black bags. Even my shoe collection is all black, plus one pink nudish and one cognac pair. But there are occasions that I don't want to wear black or navy. But in the end, I feel that black is easier. How do you manage your color palette for coordinating your outfits and bags? How do you choose the one not black leather bag? I know exactly where you're coming from, because I have struggled with this for years, and it's only until recently that I started to incorporate color into my handbag collection, you know, and that's because black is my comfort zone, be it handbags or my clothing. So like I said before, I know exactly where you're coming from. And as far as me being able to coordinate my handbag with my clothing, I find it to be a little bit easier just because I don't have a lot of color within my wardrobe either. I tend to stick to black, white, gray, a lot of denim, I have a few red tops here and there, but for the most part, I feel that the majority of my wardrobe is very, very neutral. So when I go to use a colored handbag, I think it's very easy to pair, you know, because it's not really a contrasting color, or it's not something that's going to necessarily clash with what it is that I'm wearing. Plus, I do have a tendency to wear solids. So solids end up working out the best for me. You know, it's something that I feel very comfortable in. So like I said before, I think that the colors that I do have within my collection are very easy to pair with the type of wardrobe that I have. Plus, I'm a very casual dresser, so not saying that I can't dress up, but I just feel a lot better when I'm in a t-shirt and jeans. But one of the things that I ended up doing that kind of helped me to start to introduce more color into my collection, besides going for small leather goods, because with small leather goods, I feel that I wasn't necessarily committed to a color because it was in my handbag, you know, and it wasn't necessarily too overwhelming either. But besides going for small leather goods, I also went for something a little bit smaller with color, even though I did have a colored handbag in the past that I ended up selling because I was terrified to use it. I decided to go for something maybe a little bit smaller that had color, and I know it might sound kind of harsh, but I forced myself to use it. I forced myself to get out of that comfort zone. I wouldn't put it down until I kind of got over my fear of not necessarily just going for black. And by doing that, I'm actually very thankful that I kind of went that route, even though it sounds terrible, like I said. I'm really thankful that I went that route, because now I'm able to see a few more colors and even think about adding them to my collection without having that fear that I can only end up going for black. It's all a matter of personal preference, and it's all a matter of whatever ends up working out for the individual. But for myself, I just felt that by kind of breaking the mold and kind of forcing myself to go a different avenue to try to expand my horizon when it came to any other handbag that I want to add to my collection. I will still always go for black bags, but I definitely appreciate color a little bit more now. But I don't know if this ends up helping you out. I would suggest maybe going for small leather goods and trying it that way, or maybe go for something a little bit smaller and maybe see if what I ended up doing ends up working out for you. But fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to help. Next question from MM. I would like to know your opinion regarding brands like Fendi, Celine, and others sold on Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and other websites. Do you think that it cheapens the image of the brand, or do you think it's okay? I go back and forth with that question in my mind, and I would love to know your opinion. All right, so what are my thoughts when it comes to brands like Fendi, Celine, and others sold on Marshalls.com or any other website that isn't from the fashion house? I can definitely see where someone might think that it'll end up cheapening the brand, or it might make the bag look a little bit cheaper. However, there's also a part of me that, I've said it before, if I can save any type of money on any luxury good at any point in time, I will absolutely take it. I will absolutely take it, especially if it's a substantial amount of savings. You know, and for the most part, a lot of the pieces that I have seen on these websites, they're not necessarily classic pieces. They're more, they're seasonal, or they have a little bit more detail or things like that. And, you know, so if I really want to go for a fun piece, and if I don't want to pay retail for it at the boutique, and if I can find it by going on these websites, you know, then I'm all for it, especially because I'm not going to be spending an arm and a leg on something that might not end up staying in my collection for, you know, for the foreseeable future or anything like that. I will also have to say that because the majority of those bags that I've seen, like I said before, that are seasonal, it's also a clear indication to me, you know, I could be wrong, but it's also a clear indication to me that a lot of these same fashion houses don't have the best resale value. I'm not talking about the ones that have used pieces, you know, from consignment shops or anything like that. I'm talking about brand new pieces, brand new seasonal pieces or colored pieces or what have you. I always feel that that's a really clear indication that they don't have the best resale value. And if you end up going onto consignment websites, and if you end up typing some of those names or some of those styles, you'll end up seeing how much they retail for and how much they're going for on the pre-loved market, you know? So it's like a huge difference between the two. So I do like some of these fashion houses. Unfortunately, they don't have the best resale value. The best ones out there are definitely like Hermes, Louis Vuitton, and Chanel. And even then, it's really a case-by-case scenario because it's all a matter of that small leather good or that handbag or whatever the case may be, you know? But yeah, I definitely see both points. But you know, if I can save money on small leather goods, or if I can save money on any luxury item, I am all for it. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. But fantastic question, and hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Rochelle Kabali. Hopefully I said that correctly. How do you get your patina so perfect on your Speedy B25? It's seriously just perfect. You are far too kind. Thank you so much. I am pretty particular when it comes to the patina on my handbags, and I don't use any conditioners. I don't wipe off my handbag with baby wipes or anything like that. I pretty much let the oils in my hands do all the work for the leather. And when it comes to cleaning them off, whether it's a Louis Vuitton piece or any other fashion house, I pretty much just end up using like a microfiber cloth, and that's the extent of you know, of what I end up doing to my handbags. Other than that, I just pretty much just leave them in their dust bags. But I also got a tip years and years ago that I have followed religiously when it comes to patina or the patina process. And I have followed it to a T, and I really feel that it's really helped all of my pieces age the way that they have, because I am a huge fan of the honey golden color. I know some people don't like, you know, the fact that the leather starts to oxidize and it changes color. I am a huge fan. And that tip was, if you do get a handbag that has the leather that starts to oxidize as time goes by, is to leave it out of the dust bag for 3 days. Leave it out of the dust bag, leave it in a room where you're not going to touch it. Don't have it be in front of a window. Don't let it sit in the sun or anything like that. Just kind of set it down and forget about it for 3 days. By doing that, in those 3 days, it starts to develop it kind of starts to develop a base for that patina, and it kind of sets you on your way towards getting that golden color, you know, as time goes by. So like I said, I have followed it religiously. I have followed it to a T, and all of my handbags, I think pretty much, especially the ones that I've had for a long time, all have around the same type of patina. Even the ones that are the hand carry, that you would think that in that middle part of the handle, it'll start to get really dark because I do use the bag so much that way. Even then, I haven't noticed that it's too dark. I've noticed that it's pretty even. I mean, there's some parts that you can see that it is a hand carry bag, but not to the point where it's completely black or brown or anything like that. So ever since I got that tip, like I said, years and years ago, it has really ended up working out for me, and I'm very happy with the patina that I've gotten on all of my pieces. So I don't know if that ends up helping you guys out, but you know, it's all a matter of personal preference if you like the patina or whether you don't. But if you do, I definitely recommend following that tip, especially if you want to get that beautiful honey golden color. But fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to answer it. And the last question from Tasha Hartman. I've been seeing a lot of videos from different YouTubers on the inspired bags, mainly the Hermes Kelly, Birkin, and Chanel here and there. What are your thoughts on inspired bags? Do you think purchasing inspired bags is like purchasing a fake bag, even though inspired bags don't have the luxury brand logos? All right, so when it comes to inspired handbags, personally, they are not for me. I do like to give credit to the brand or the fashion house that came out with an original design, especially because it's getting harder and harder to find those original designs nowadays, you know? But let's be honest. Let's be 100% honest, because when it comes to all brands, whether it's luxury or contemporary, a lot of them take inspiration from one another. They borrow ideas from one another, and they add their own detail to something to kind of make it their own, you know. But at the end of the day, a lot of different brands, a lot of different companies do have similar silhouettes to a different fashion house. Case in point, I hate to say it, but the Clooney BB from Louis Vuitton. I love this bag. I love the simplicity, but I also think that it kind of reminds me of an Hermes Kelly. It's not the same brand, and it doesn't have the same type of you know, materials or anything like that, but there is a similarity when it comes to the silhouette, you know? So like I said before, I think that a lot of these brands end up borrowing from one another. You even see it on makes of cars. So whether it's cars, handbags, small leather goods, anything out there, I feel that there's always an inspiration that a brand takes from something else, and they make it their own, and they make it work for, you know, for their brand. They make it work for, you know, the people that end up purchasing from them. Personally, like I said, inspired bags are not for me. I do like to give credit to the original design, but like I said previously, it's getting a lot harder to find those original original designs when it comes to luxury fashion houses, because they all end up borrowing from each other. I don't know, call me crazy, but those are just my 2 cents, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this question. But fantastic question. Hopefully I was able to answer it. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help. You guys had some awesome questions this week. For this week's lineup, you guys will see me one other time, and I'm going to shoot for either Friday or Saturday, but I'm really excited about that video. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week, and I'll see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day.